Hi there, cruisers. Welcome to Part-Time Cruisers. I'm Amber. Today we are going to talk about how I rescheduled 4 different cruises on 3 different cruise lines in approximately 14 hours. Due to the pandemic and cruises not starting here in the US, we had to actually reschedule not only the cruises that got canceled, but the ones we had already planned in the future for us to be able to bring you content. We rescheduled a Carnival cruise, we rescheduled 2 Virgin Voyage cruises, and we rescheduled a Norwegian cruise. So if you cruise on any of those lines, please go ahead and subscribe because we will be bringing content from all those cruise ships. We are going on the Carnival Mardi Gras. We are going on the Scarlet Lady Virgin Voyages ship, and we are also going on the Norwegian Encore. So again, if you're interested in any of those, please go ahead and subscribe. Talking about rescheduling cruises or cancellations of cruises, we also either just created or will be posting shortly a video of call to action for you to help get cruise lines started back here in the US. And I don't know about you, but I am totally ready for that. I am tired of having to reschedule these cruises. Virgin Voyage cruise, we've actually rescheduled 4 times at this point. So this is hopefully the final and last time, and we'll get started cruising here in the US. Again, so I'm just going to kind of take you through my experience and kind of talk about the customer service that happened and a couple things that I learned along the way with Carnival. Because I've had experience with Virgin Voyage, I'm going to go ahead and start with Virgin Voyage. So the first time that we were canceled, I went to reschedule, and I want to say it was within a week. It was the first week that they had canceled. So it was closer to the time of being canceled, but it wasn't quite the next day. And it took me hours on the phone to reschedule. With that second cruise cancellation, I had the expectation that I would be on the phone for hours. And honestly, I did not even listen to one whole song before someone picked up. I also had good experience with Virgin Voyage by not when we were rescheduling, but when I had questions and things, by pressing the number 1 and them calling us back. They do actually call you back. It might take a little while depending on where you are in queue, but they will call you back. I've had good experience with that. And this 4th time of rescheduling our Virgin Voyage trip, I was able to, we waited about 20 minutes before we got on the phone with someone. Very polite, went through, got us booked. We actually are doing a back-to-back cruise, got us booked on those back-to-back cruises, and we are all set now for Virgin Voyage. The Norwegian cruise. So the Norwegian cruise, we actually just for vacation purposes had to move it just 1 week. So that experience was pretty easy because we actually hadn't paid it off yet. So we moved that, and they ended up giving us a credit because of the weeks that we moved it. So sometimes you can actually just save money by moving your cruise 1 week difference, which is a good tip to save some money if you have that flexibility, because we're in the same type room. I think we're 1 room over or 1 room down from where we were booked before. The only thing that we really changed was the date, and that gave us the money back. It was a pretty quick turnaround time, no complaints there. I was able to do it very quickly. I actually had a issue with being able to verify my account because we actually have not been on a Norwegian cruise in a pretty long time. And because we hadn't been on a Norwegian cruise in a pretty long time, when we were going through like verifying my identity, they didn't have the address of either of the states that I lived in. So I couldn't really figure out what was going on. And she was actually able to walk me through the online portion because she saw I was already signed in online, and she was able to verify my account that way. So I was very thankful to her for that, because there was no way that I would have ever guessed the address that was put onto the account, because it was my boyfriend's account at the time, who is now my husband, but I never lived at that address. I actually had great experience with Carnival as well. With Carnival, I called really late at night. I was actually surprised that anybody answered, because I started with Carnival late last night. And I want to say it was probably about 8:30ish that I called. And we wanted to change our cruise, same boat, same room, suite, and everything, but just change the date. The problem with it was, as I've said before, those dates make a difference on your price. So when we changed it, it actually increased the price quite a bit. And I was not willing to pay the price of that increase for the date change. So I talked to her about the possibility of, if we went and saved that cruise, whether we could downgrade to the other ship if we couldn't come up with the money in the time that it was due. She was very knowledgeable, and she told me that they actually don't offer downgrading, which was something that I was not familiar with. Like, I didn't know that that was something that they did. So she said that it would be better for us to do the opposite, which would be go ahead and get the refund, do the downgraded room, and then when we were ready or had the money, we could go ahead and upgrade. So we went through that process and went ahead and, she did that for us. It did take her a while to get that done. I want to say that I was probably on the phone close to 40 minutes. She was very polite, but it was taking her a long time to process everything. Then once I got off with them, my husband and I started talking, and we started talking about the difference between the room that we had and the upgraded room, and kind of what would we be losing? Is it really worth us upgrading? And as I looked on Carnival website, I looked, and the family harbor suite for the family was cheaper than the regular suite that we were looking at, but yet it came with all of these other things. So it came with everything that the suite we were looking at came with, but it came with free specialty dining for the kids, free one night night out, So it also came with the family harbor buffet or place where they have lunch and snack. They also have games that is just for the family harbor suites. There were a couple other benefits that were in addition. I don't remember them off the top of my head, but whatever it is, I will definitely put it in the description for you to take a look at if you are interested in the family harbor. So when I did get back on and I talked to them about the upgrade, because I did call, and it was again really late at night. It was almost 10 o'clock, but they stay open till 10, so that's good to know. So we called right at 10 o'clock, and they told me that it was actually going to be more than they quoted me originally, and I couldn't figure out why or what was going on. And they talked about the fact that, I included my gratuities, I included my fees, etc. With all the additional fees and stuff, it actually put it over a little bit more. So we actually decided we're not going to do the family harbor, and that we would just go with the regular balcony or whatever it was, terrace view, whatever the category was that we were in that downgraded room. And then after getting off the phone and kind of thinking about it, we actually thought that getting the family harbor actually might be a good thing to share with you guys, because we've never been in the family harbor. We don't know the experience, and since it is a new ship and the family harbor suites are something that are only on a handful of ships on Carnival, we made the decision that we would pay the extra money and go ahead and do that so that we could go ahead and bring you some content. We made that decision obviously after 10 o'clock. So we had to wait till this morning to go ahead and book that. So when I called this morning, it was amazing service. The person was very friendly. She took care of making sure that we got all that taken care of. We ended up in a room that was the last room in the family harbor suite. We are a family of 4, and it is supposed to be for a family of 5. So hopefully we'll have a little bit more room. It has 2 bathrooms, which I thought was interesting, but one of them comes with a tub, which is great for our youngest. So if you are looking at those family harbor suites or interested in more information about that, there will be videos soon to come about that. So overall, I would say that my experience with all the cruise lines in changing this was definitely excellent. All cruise lines were able to do what I needed them to do. Some of them had to refund me money. Some of them I had to pay more money, again, because of that flex and date, but I was able to do it pretty quickly. So please go ahead and press like if you like this, and put in the comments if you've had to reschedule any of your cruises and your experiences, to kind of help anybody with what they're going to have to do since some of these cruises are being canceled. As well as, if you have not already, please go ahead and do that call to action to help us to restart cruises here in the US. Thanks for watching.